kidnapping and intended deal in drugs in August last year. For more on the story, let's cross over to our reporter Gillian Pillay, who's been tracking this case for us. Gillian, again, a very good morning to you. We see you've moved outside of the courtroom. I mean, we spoke quite extensively about the security measures that are going to be there at this trial. Let's, of course, pick up there. What's happening now?
Now, a very good morning to you again. And yes, as you said, we've now had to vacate the court. And this is just part of the usual security checks that happens before the arrival of the convicted. A short while ago, members of the TRT unit moved into court. They swept the area. Also, they brought in a dog from the K9 unit. And that's just the usual procedures before any members of the public is allowed to actually enter court. Very few members of the public are actually allowed to listen to this proceedings. It's very strict, the security. And as I said earlier, we as media are subjected to quite strict body searches. You're not allowed to take in food. You're not allowed to use your cell phone or your laptop. You're only allowed to use a pen and a notebook. And you are given this tag to identify yourself as a member of the public, a VIP, or a relative of the accused, Leanne. So it's quite a meticulous exercise in the run-up to a sentencing hearing like the one that we're seeing in the South Gauteng High Court here in Johannesburg, Leanne.
Gillian, we spoke also about the fact that you have gotten news that there is a chance, and a very big chance, that once again Radovan Krejcir won't have any legal representation. Again, just elaborate a bit on this for us.
Yes, and we have reliably learned that once again he doesn't have legal representation, and this really throws a spoke into the wheel. It's not fair that the sentencing hearing continues while one of the convicted doesn't have legal representation to put arguments forward, like in Radovan Krejcir's case, for a more lenient sentence. And the judge will, take a range of things into consideration when he hands down sentence. So these pre-arguments that we have during sentencing looks at whether the person is a first-time offender, looks at the person's family life, look at the person's behavior while incarceration. And Radovan Krejcir has been incarcerated since November 2013, which is a long time, Leanne. So they'll look at his behavior, and those are the kinds of factors that will inform the judge into what sentence to hand down. But the legal experts that we've spoken to, they said for the kinds of charges that they've been convicted of, it could result in direct imprisonment. I'm a bit cautious in saying what kind of sentencing is likely to be handed down to these 6 men yearly. And so we'll just have to see how the day progresses, whether Lamont will decide to postpone or whether he'll decide to continue looking at how the other 5 have been prejudiced, looking at all the postponements that we've had since August, since their conviction. So it's going to be a very tough balancing act this morning for Lamont. You can imagine how frustrated he himself is. And we've heard the kinds of statements he's made from the bench, Leanne, talking about that this matter needs to continue. We can't have it postponed. And one doesn't see this kind of thing after a conviction, that a sentencing is pulled out or it's delayed for such a long time, and so it's going to be quite an interesting morning in Court 6E this morning, Leanne.
Yeah, one would only imagine, and you can see. I mean, you're just having a look at previous footage from Lamont, and you could see the frustration with him. But I mean, once all is said and done, and I suppose now I'm really asking you to speculate here. What kind of sentences are likely to be handed down once the sentence is handed down?
And with the legal experts that I've spoken to, they've been very cautious even in saying anything from 5 years, and I'm now just speculating. That's possibly, and I'm pushing it here, that's possibly what we could see handed down, and probably less. I'm not sure, because these are first-time offenders, but Radovan Krejcir falls in a different category, looking at what has come out of his, the behavior in terms of the alleged escape plots, the alleged plot on Lamont himself. There's been quite a series of escapades that we've seen come out into the media around Radovan Krejcir. So those kinds of things will have a bearing on sentencing, Leanne.
All right, let's leave it there. That's our Gillian Pillay. She's reporting from the court where Radovan Krejcir is expected to appear today. It's the Johannesburg High Court. They've all been moved out of the court so that a security check can be done. High security there.